Hello, drummers. Gary Williams here, your Drumset mastermind and creator of the Drumset Artistry Mastermind Group. Thanks for tuning in to my Facebook Live today. I'm a little late from my normal presentation time. Today, I want to talk about drumming technique. How good is yours? So what I'd like to do is just make this analogy. Drum technique is like speaking technique. In other words, when you just started playing the drums, you had just a few things that you would do with sticks. You weren't thinking necessarily how you're holding them, what's happening. You were just enjoying literally banging on sounds and exploring what you can do with these little striking implements in your hand. Just like when you started to learn how to speak, you could probably talk a few words only. Mom, dad, who knows what else. Then after you've been attempting to speak for a while, you start to learn a few words and you can begin to form short sentences. If you've been speaking for a few years, in fact, by the time most people enter into elementary school, they can speak pretty fluently. They don't know big words that adult people do, but they know how to communicate pretty well and carry on a conversation. This is like drumming technique. When you first learn, you know maybe a word or two. And then after you learn to play a few different kinds of things with your hands, not even including your feet now at this point, then you can start to form short little ideas, maybe play a few measures of a drum beat with a really simple fill. Now, if you keep on studying and acquiring more drum beat skills and more fills by, as you would by talking, listening, that's the primary way in which we learn, then you could become pretty fluent in some of that kind of stuff if you do it long enough. So when assessing one's technique, for me, it really has to do with what kind of sound they're getting on the drums. And I like to say, or question people, what is the best technique? And my response is the one that sounds the best. I don't think very many people can argue with that. The goal of all the study of techniques, I think, is to make you more efficient in producing a finer sound on whatever instrument you're playing. So there's lots of opinions on techniques. Drum corps guys are going to have a different attitude about playing on a Kevlar head with these big, huge sticks than a drum set player in a jazz trio that's playing with brushes. It's a completely different style of music, completely different approach. Not one technique is better than the other. I'm sure those drummers are choosing a technique that produces the desired sound in the style of music they're playing. So now maybe some of you would really like to be able to speak more with your sticks. I have clients that come to me that really are now in a position where they want to break out of just being the average drummer where they just play beats and some simple pedestrian fills, and they want to get into making the beats sound more interesting, putting some artistry on it, maybe a little bit more virtuoso stuff and not just the generic kind of thing. And then they get to a point where they want to learn how to play a drum solo. Now you're going to be playing by yourself and you really want to have more of a vocabulary so you can express some of the things that can be expressed on the drum set that sound so beautiful to each of us, which is what pulled us toward the drum set to begin with. I was exposed to Buddy Rich when I was a middle school kid, and it was like a magic show. I'll never forget that most inspirational concert, and I think that shaped my interest in where the bar could be set on drumming. So I spent a lot of time on technique starting at the end of my 10th grade year in high school. I did all 40 rudiments every day. It took 45 minutes to an hour for about a year. And that just really built this huge, solid trunk of a foundation in my hand technique. And since then, I've had the opportunity to study with some world greats, attend many clinics, gone through lots of instructional books and DVDs. Now I feel like I have a really superior handle on technique. So if you are one of those drummers that would like to be able to speak more with your hands, would really like to take your technique to the next level, then private message me so I can get you the same results I get my other clients. They learn how to play, and they learn how to play so well, from the simplest thing of just getting a much beautiful sound out of the toms, much more so than before, to learning how to play something that they never thought they could play. And it doesn't take long. So you can do it yourself trying to figure this out, but you can ask an expert, and I am that, and I could save you a massive amount of time. So I'm ready when you are. Let me know if I can help you build some great chops so you have a lot of things that you can say when you tell that story during that drum solo. Okay, so be nice to yourself, continue practicing, and I will see you again in the near future for some more Facebook Live videos. Take care.